So
Chris and I jump in.
Collapse of capitalism. So given that people have, sorry, am I speaking to me? Yeah.
Chris and I, go ahead.
A year ago, given that only a year ago people were saying the collapse of capitalism is unthinkable and impossible, and of course since the late September with the collapse of Lehman Brothers, we've had the beginnings of the collapse of capitalism. Why does everyone seem to think that revolution caused by the collapse of capitalism is impossible? I'm telling people it's already started. We've already seen the beginnings of a revolution. We're in the middle of it in London. It's going to move to Strasbourg. The good thing about a revolution is that it solves problems. It's the reverse kind of thinking as the kind of thinking that got us into this mess. I completely agree that this is all about gamblers who've lost their bets, wanting to fill the infinitely black hole of the gambling debts with our money across the world.
Yeah, okay,
now,
let
all I'm saying is that there's a limit to that.
The idea of a revolution
please let me finish.
Max, why don't you let London finish, and then you can go ahead.
Finished.
London?
Exactly, and would the interviewer stop saying I'm digressing? I'm not an economist. I'm a professor of anthropology. I don't believe in economics. There's no such thing as the economy. The economy is a fiction. It's gone.
Okay, Chris, I think you made your point. Max Keiser, very quickly want to go to Ireland. Max, go ahead.
The right of kings, and they dealt with Charles I with the guillotine. Now what we're talking about is the divine right of hedge funds.
No, not with a guillotine. No, with an axe. An
okay,
axe,
well, I'm
not
just
a
saying
guillotine.
that the divine right of hedge funds has to be addressed. But don't say that the experiment of capitalism has failed, because we have not had capitalism in England and in America for quite some time. In a capitalist economy, for example,
Max Keiser, if I could ask you to hold your thoughts, I want to go to Limerick and to Professor Nell.
But we don't have that in the U.S. The interest rates are determined by the Politburo.
I think we're having a vehement debate here, but let's all participate.
Capitalism in America hasn't been enforced for more than several decades, actually. It's been a much more of a command and control economy in America and in the UK for decades now. We don't know if capitalism would work in America because we haven't had it in decades.
Okay, I think you made your point. Chris and I, why don't you let me go to Professor Nell. Professor Nell, let me bring you back to the subject, and then the other two gentlemen can defend or detract that from their own standpoints. Professor Nell, now regarding this agreement to dedicate over $1 trillion to the world economy in order to rescue it and bring it out of the mess that it's
not to the world economy. It is to the IMF.
Why is it that the bulk of it has to go through the channels of the IMF, and it cannot be directly dealt out to the people and to the institutions that need it, especially given the not so very proud reputation of that organization, the IMF?
The IMF will have to be completely reconstructed. Dominic Strauss-Kahn is a pretty good person to do this, but he has to deal with a recalcitrant bureaucracy. He asked for $250 billion. He got $500 billion plus an additional $250 for special drawing rights and another $250 billion for support of trade. All of this will help in the long run in terms of recovery and preventing further crashes of
we don't have
countries.
a long run.
But it will not stimulate directly.
Okay, London, go ahead.
It will not stimulate the economy now. It is not part of what Obama wanted.
Can I just say we don't have a long run. If we don't act now, climate chaos will be irreversible. We won't have a planet to inhabit. So we don't have a long run.
What do you suggest we all do? What do you suggest we all do?
I'm telling you now, what we need to do
part
is
of the
join
American stimulus
the United States.
Package is climate change.
I was addressing
investment.
London. Professor Nell, if you could maintain your composure. Chris Knight, go ahead, quickly.
Okay, what we need to do is address Barack Obama. Barack, please, add Britain, add Europe to the United States of planet Earth. You can lead us to a planet which is one planet one currency. You can do it, Barack, because you are the most popular politician. Don't exclude Afghanistan. Don't drive by violence Afghanistan into the hands of people, the Taliban, for example, who nobody can possibly want to be in that position. You do what you've said you're going to do. In other words, include Afghanistan. Listen to the people of Afghanistan. Don't use violence. Violence is the wrong way of doing things. If you act with the wisdom and the intelligence and the thoughtfulness and the inclusiveness that your talk to the press yesterday evening indicated you want to do, we will all want to join your country, your America. It will be the United States of planet Earth. That's the solution.
Knight, do you have anything to say to the viewers of the show? Because clearly Barack Obama is not watching us.
Well, I think Barack Obama is listening and is watching and is very interested in the alternatives. He seems to be very uneasy about what he's doing in Afghanistan. He said, well, the proof of the pudding is in the eating.
I guess you made your point there. So how about going to Max Keiser? We're quickly running out of time, gentlemen. Max Keiser, very briefly in 30 seconds, your very final assessment of the G20 and the picture you draw for us for the future of the world economy.
Yeah, I'm not very hopeful that Barack Obama is going to work out as such a great leader, because he's totally in the pocket of the banking establishment. And
yes, but when the banks collapse, he's got to... No.
I don't see
when we destroy capitalism...
getting out of the shadow of Goldman Sachs.
Capitalism...
And he has to get rid of Treasury Geithner and Lindsay if he wants to have any kind
when we destroy capitalism, Barrett will have nowhere else to go.
The U.S. and the world get out of the shadow of these global banks that are just outright stealing money left, right, and center. So he's got to deal with that problem, which he hasn't done effectively yet.
Yes.
In 20 seconds, exactly. Professor Nell, you please make your very final words and comments. Professor Nell, last words?
The G20 was a partial success. What it needs is a strong backup of stimulus, and it might make a difference to the way in which the world economy is going downhill, which is very fast. It needs to be stopped by a strong stimulus. It's a good idea to introduce new regulations, but that is less important at this time than stopping the downhill. That is the most important single thing that was not achieved at the G20. Hopefully it will be followed up by a lot of pressure.
Last words to Chris Knight. How can we save the world economy, Mr. Knight, in 10 seconds?
Nowhere else to go.
Mr. Knight.
Execute what's left of capitalism. Execute what's left of capitalism. Barack Obama will have nowhere else to go. He will come over once we've destroyed the system.
Okay, lovely. This brings us to the finale of the show. A big thank you to Chris Knight, Edward Nell, and Max Keiser for their appearance and for your patience to stay on board and watch us. You can touch base and tell us what's on your mind through the email address, and for more information you can go to our website. But the show will return. Until then, it's goodbye from me, Zubin Zarvan.